Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, dan a very good morning to all my fellow students. Today our lecture is on consideration on the subject of law of contract. So we have already in your slides what are the objective of consideration that you can refer on your own. But the question here is what is consideration? What is consideration? Dalam bahasa Melayu kita panggil balasan. Balasan, ya. Consideration mean balasan. So dulu kita dah baca satu-satu kontrak. For the contract to be binding, they must have three elements. That mean the offer, the acceptance, and the consideration. So again, these are the things I'm repeating that you must very well understand for your exam purposes and for your learning purposes. So now we focus on the consideration, balasan. So what are the consideration? What are the meaning of consideration? Apa maksudnya? And whether there are many types of consideration that we will go through this lecture. So let us go for types of consideration. There are three types: executed consideration. Executed consideration, we're talking about present consideration. We will explain later on. Number two, executory consideration. There are future consideration. And the third one is past consideration. Okay. Then also we're going to learn, can a consideration move from one person who is not the promisee? Boleh tak orang yang tidak memberi janji tadi to promise, tapi orang lain pula yang buat bayaran? Can this one accepted or not? We will study on that. Must a consideration be adequate? Also we will explain in detail. Can natural love and affection be valid consideration? There's another interesting that you're going to learn. Can your mother give you a house? There's no consideration, tidak ada balasan. Is it a valid contract? These are the things for today's lecture. If we can understand all these points, is enough already for your knowledge on the consideration. Later on you can read, you can add more from the consideration. This is the basic thing that we're teaching today. Once you understand the basic thing, then you can easily add on your knowledge on the consideration by reading case law, by reading article, by listening to videos, all kinds of learning material that you can add on to your knowledge on the consideration. So okay, let us go one by one. Is an agreement without consideration void? Apa maksud void di sini? Tidak boleh dilaksanakan. Or the contract is not binded, or we call it void, again non-binding agreement. So many words you can use, but in the legal term, to make short, they call it void, VOID. That means non-binding agreement or contract yang tidak boleh diaplikasikan. Cannot, tak boleh digunakan. So section 26 of the Contract Act 1950. So we try as Ija or to download you the section Contract Act 1950. Ija try to download and post it to your online lah, in case you all lazy to get it lah. We try to help you. State that the agreement without consideration is void. Satu agreement yang tidak ada balasan tidak boleh digunakan, atau void mean terbatal dengan sendiri. It's already void. There's no contract. You sign the agreement together, but you don't pay anything, tidak ada balasan, kontrak itu void, artinya kontrak itu batal, tidak boleh digunakan. Okay? Okay, then what is consideration? So under the Act, lays down the definition of consideration. So if you already download or you read into the book, into the akta in the library, they will have the definition of consideration. Or you still want to make it easier, you just Google, you just type there what is the meaning of consideration, then save time for me to explain it because it's a simple thing. Okay, types of consideration. Okay, the second point we are talking about executed consideration. Executed consideration, we are talking about present consideration. Consideration yang sekarang, maksudnya kita sign agreement dan bayar duit sekarang. So that type of consideration, we call it executed consideration or present consideration. You beli buku dekat bookstore, yang bookstore tadi offer you to buy the book, you take the book and you pay at the counter. That type of contract is a present contract, or we call it present consideration. Sebab you bayar on the spot. Okay? That means consists of doing the act said be executed. You buat, you do the thing at the present thing. You take the book, send the counter, pay the money, all at one time. You go to McDonald's, you order in McDonald's, the person will deliver you the burger, you pay the money. So all at one time. That type we call it executed consideration or present consideration. You bayar semasa tu. Okay? Next one, executory consideration. All this in your slide, you can refer to your slide. What is executory consideration? This one we call it future consideration. You tak bayar masa tu, you bayar di masa hadapan. Yeah? So, in this case, consists of a promise to said to be executed. You tolong, you tempah baju lah senang. You ni semua you send to the tailor to do your shirt. So you ask the tailor to do the shirt. Then when the tailor completed your shirt, when you come and pick up another 1 week or 2 weeks, you pay the money. That is considered future consideration. Yeah, tadi at the same time, this one masa you ambil baju tu, when you go take the baju, you pay. That one we call it executory consideration. Boleh, tidak masalah. Because just now you already go to the tailor shop, they already measure your size, they do the shirt. So when you pick up another 2 weeks or month time, you pay the money. So that one we call it executed consideration. Okay. So the third one, past consideration. So tiga tadi ya, present, future and past. Past ke belakang, future, depan kan. Present, current. Three only you have to understand. Current consideration, future consideration, past consideration. But in the legal term, they say it's not executed, executory. Yeah? Don't get confused. But what we're trying to say, present, future, and this one, the third one is the past consideration. Consideration consists of something that performed before the promise was made. Yeah? It is made or given not to the response of the promise. The promise is subsequent to the act and independent of it. Baca ni memang you takkan faham, but I give you a simple example. It's also inside the note, but you still have to read the difficult part before you go to example, because that's what we have to teach you. Yeah? I can go direct to example, but then you must know what is the meaning first. Contoh past consideration. Okay. Siapa di sini? You punya lecturer, si Miss Balkis, lose dia punya handphone masa dia minum kat kedai kopi. Kopi kiam. Or secret recipe. If I say some restaurant overseas, you cannot imagine. I say Miss Balkis went to the McDonald lah dekat sini kan. Everybody go McDonald. Dia habis makan McDonald, dia terlupa ambil dia punya telefon keluar. I think many of you have the same problem. I also left 1 or 2 telephone lost also in my life. I think everybody have the same problem. So, the waiters tu dekat McDonald tu ramai student kita. Ya. Ada waiter tu yang jadi manager, siapa dia? Ni Siti Hayuni. I think Siti Hayuni dalam kelas kan. Oh, nickname dia apa? Sayang kan. She's a waiter there, but now she's no more waiter. I heard she's now manager. Maybe you ask her. So she saw the telephone of Miss Baskil, maybe iPhone ke, and immediately call Miss Balkis and return her handphone. Okay, dia panggil Miss Balkis kat parking lah, dia nak naik kereta, atau maybe she's working to our college lah, EASTWEST-INTERNATIONal college. Kena sebut juga EASTWEST-INTERNATIONal college kan. She's working now. Suddenly Siti Hayuni, oh sayang, call her. Miss Balkis, come. You left your handphone, so I found, I give it to her. So what happened? Now Miss Balkis said, thank you very much. Terima kasih banyak. Bukan aliket, terima kasih. Tak, dia kata terima kasih banyak-banyak. Dia kata, I promise to give you besok or next week RM10 because now my money finish. College have not paid my salary maybe. So Dato' Murad belum pay my salary, so I pay you when I got my salary end of month to Siti Hayuni. So what happened here? The act of Siti perform before the promise. Maksudnya sebelum ni Miss Bakis tak ada janji dia apa-apa. He didn't promise anything, but dia dah perform. Biasanya you go to the shop, let's say kat McDonald tadi, what Miss Baskis do, he order McDonald is offerer. Dia yang offer nak jual McDonald. So she go down there, order the McDonald. She's a buyer. Offer accepted. They accept McDonald and she pay the consideration. That is present, the present one. But now in this case past. So what happened? Bila Siti bagikan ni Balkis tak ada duit. He has no money. Gaji tak bayar, maybe, belum. Or she already spent money too much for her wedding coming soon. So we don't know. So make sure they all invite you now. We can send one bus to her wedding, no problem. But too far, Johor Bahru, maybe we naik kereta api. So now she promised Siti, okay, I give when I get you my salary. So now she is going to pay off past consideration, past kerja sudah diselesaikan oleh Siti. Siti already given him the job. There's no more going to be job tomorrow or whatever to return the telephone. She already give the telephone. She already took the telephone. Before, sebelum tadi memang no promise by Miss Balkis. So this was subsequent where the action came first when the promise. Jadi di situasi tadi action come first before the promise. Promise dilihat, dia dah dapat baru promise. So in this situation you can go and read further. Is we call it past consideration and is tertulis or in the Acta of Contract under section 2D of the Contract Act. State that if he act done where as the desire or a promiser, then such act should constitute consideration. Tapi kalau misalnya Miss Balkis kata, okay, terima kasih lah you bagi telefon ni, okay, bye. So tak ada apa lah, sebab dia tak ada promise nak bayar RM10, RM20 tadi. So there's no talking about past consideration. Habis itu je lah. So that's how it's work. Has done or abstain from doing nothing as long it was done in desire of the promiser. Kalau dia yang promise, adalah sebab ini memang tidak ada perjanjian. There's no agreement. So still is a valid agreement. Sekiranya if Balkis bila he got the salary at the end of the month didn't pay, the contract still valid. Siti Hayuni kan, still can claim the RM10. Boleh faham? Simple as that. So you have 3 consideration. You can repeat and see my video 3 or 4 times until you understand. That's solve the problem. Okay. Next one, we move on. Can a consideration move from one person to is not the promisee? kita akan belajar tadi, ada section of the objective. Boleh tak Ayu ni Balkis yang janji nak bayar, tapi Siti Khadijah pula yang tolong bayar. Can dia valid? Sah tak? Is it a contract? Nanti kita tengok Ada case law. A sister agreed to pay annuity of 600 ringgit to her brothers who provided no consideration for the promise. So, satu orang kakak sanggup bagi adik dia 600 ringgit setahun. Tapi dia promise, adik dia terima kan? Accept lah, you nak bayar 600 ringgit setahun bagi belanja duit poket. Macam you lah, mungkin abang you, kakak you janji nak bagi you duit poket 100 ringgit sebulan. Dan you okay, setuju. But in between ada consideration tak? Tak ada kan? Dia janji, dia offer you and you accept. Saya setuju, abang bagi saya 100 ringgit a month. But in between ada consideration tak? Tak ada kan? So there's no contract, no binding contract. So what happened in this case? However, on the same day, their mother had given the sister some land. Ni sedap cerita ni. It's Indian case anyway. Kalau nak check, you check dalam slide tu. Case law dia, Venkata Chenaya versus Verikata Maya. Google case tu, semua ada detail. Tapi I give you the summary. So when you happen, tadi kakak dia janji nak bagi adik dia 600 ringgit setahun untuk belanja apa, kata kisahlah. Tapi adik dia tidak ada bagi consideration untuk perjanjian tadi. So legally tidak ada kontrak. Kalau kakak dia tak bagi pun, adik dia tak boleh demand atau boleh bawa dia ke mahkamah, bring it to court to implement the contract because of the consideration. Element consideration dia tak ada. The court say sorry, we not listen your case. So what happened? Next one. But the mother of these two girl and boy given the sister some land. Sekarang mak dia kata, okay, now I give you the land. Okay? Stipulating that she must pay the annuity to her brothers. Sekarang mak dia kata, okay, I give you the land, then you must pay the monthly 650 to the, 1 year to the brothers. Yeah? So that land that the mother give to the sister, in this case, court decide it become a consideration. Betul adik dia tadi have not given anything to them, but the mother say for you to give your brother 600 ringgit per year untuk belanja, since to do that I give you my land to the sister. So with this land as a consideration, you must pay the 600 ringgit to the brother. So in this case, the sister failed to pay the annuity and was sued by the brother. Mak dah bagi tanah, dia dah ambil, tapi dia tak bagi adik dia tadi $600 ringgit a year. So now, as I said, the brothers sue the sister and bring to the court. So what the court decide? Held. So when you see in the case law, when they call held, H-E-L-D, that means what the court decide. Yeah, so very easy. Sometimes you read the case story so long, you got lost. But go at the end there, held, H-E-L-D, H-E-L-D. If that, whatever mentioned, that is the judge's decision, or we call it the court decision. So in this case, she was able to pay the annuity. A party to an agreement can enforce the promise even if he himself has given no consideration, as long as somebody has done so. Kita tengok tadi. So hakim kata, dia bagi keputusan, kakak ni kena bayar. The sister has to pay to the brother because yang consideration tadi even dibayar oleh mak dia through the piece of land, given the piece of the land, and in the court law still a valid consideration, boleh diguna pakai in the contract. Or we call it, there was a good consideration for the promise even though it moved from her mother, not her brothers. Maksud di sini, walaupun tadi is not the brother who give the consideration or the promise, but from the mother. So from the patutnya brother dia tadi kata, okay, kakak, you give me $600 a year, I accept. Maybe he has to give the sister RM100. But macam mana nak bagi RM100? Dia pun tak ada duit. So the mother now give the land to the sister, surat from the land, he give it. So now the consideration comes not from the brother, but from the mother. So the court said it's a good consideration. That means boleh diguna pakai sebagai consideration for the contract. You tengok 3 kali apa yang cakap ni, you gampang, very simple. So that one we call it a consideration can move from one person to another. So kita dah belajar 4 ya. Present consideration, future consideration, past consideration, and consideration this time can move from one person to other. 4 dah kita belajar. You go and read back again. You can understand these 4 consideration, you're done my friend. Yeah? Okay, let me try to finish it before 30 minutes so that it's good enough for you to listen. Next, tak ada tak apa. We will continue sambung. Okay. What a consideration be must a consideration be adequate? Macam mana yang consideration tu adequate? Okay? Is it RM1 cukup? RM2 cukup? Ini kita akan have to go detail. You buy a car. Saya beli kereta daripada Khatijah. Khatijah bayar saya RM1. Can that consideration valid? Yes, valid. But can be accepted or not? Masuk akal tak kita jual kereta RM1? These are all things that you going to learn. It's more deeper lah. Tadi dah 4, but now little bit go deeper. Consideration must be sufficient, but need not to be adequate. Yeah. Katalah contoh, I don't want to talk about here because you can read in the contract. But I give you simple contoh. Contoh tadi I beli kereta dengan Khatijah. I beli kereta Proton Saga. Ya. Kereta dia second hand. Kita check market price dekat second hand car RM10,000. Ya. But I beli dengan Khatijah, I bayar dia RM1,000. Is it adequate? Question adequate? Market price RM10,000. I bayar dia RM1,000. So is it adequate? Tak adequate. So to be sufficient, maybe kalau beli RM9,000, still we say sufficient. Sebab dia ada cerita, dia banyak kes paksaan. Nanti kita akan baca. Baik. Saya bagi dengan jual dekat Khatijah. Saya kata kau jual dengan I RM1,000. If not, I kill your dog. Misalnya lah, dia ada kucing ke yang dia sayang kan. Berarti I don't say kill husband kan, dia marah kat I kan. So I kill the dog. So dia takut, he afraid, she afraid that I may kill the dog. So she agreed, then I pay RM1,000. But nobody knows. Yeah, still done. But then later on, she now become brave. Oh, the dog die already. Now he cannot, kill my dog anymore. My dog died. Now he go to the court. He go to the court. They say, the judge, Dato, pay me RM1,000. It's not sufficient because market price is RM10,000. At least he should pay me RM9,000. Then the judge said, why you Khatijah stupid enough? You take RM1,000. Oh, judge, Dato cakap if you don't sell me RM1,000, he want to kill my dog. Now what happened? Now my dog died. I don't care. He can't kill my dog already. He's already died. Now I want to claim my consideration to be sufficient. So court tengok, yes, Dato, how you pay this RM1,000? Must be true history. You go there kan? So now I have to give judgment. You must pay sufficient. So the judge have to think lah. He may go do his own research. Okay, what's the market price? 10,000, 9,000, 10,000. Then say okay, to be fair, now you pay her 8,000, or maybe he pay 12,000. It depends on the judge. Yeah. So if the concession not sufficient, there's only a time that you can go to the court. Or in the everyday story, if you can see, maybe you can ask your mother or father. Sometimes the government acquire the land. Like my land in Jalan Jelebu, the government acquire to make the Lakas highway for 20 acres. So he based the price of agricultural land $3.50. So they paid me 3 million. So I said, I go to the court. I said this is inadequate because that land is a commercial land. So he cannot be pay me based on agriculture land. So the court can decide to award me a higher price the government to pay. So that is call it a consideration must be educate. If they educate, there's any way of oppression or whatever thing, you still can go to the court to get your money more. In my case, there's no operation because the government just take and pay. But you feel that you've been oppressed of the price, you still can go to the court. So, the point we are trying to say here, the consideration must be educate. If the consideration inadequate, there's always can bring it to the court to get your money back, so that there be a fair in this world punya consideration. So there's only case inside the slide you can do. You can read and get. I'm giving the simple lah, but there's already okay. The last one here. This is the one I said just now. Can a natural love and effective be valid consideration? Okay, you can read the case, but I can give you a summary of things happening. Let's say a father now, like me, I want to give a piece of land to my daughter. Because of love and affection to my daughter, I just give him one house, but I didn't ask her to pay anything. So there's no consideration. Can it be a valid now contract? So in the case law here, love and affection is an exceptional of the normal contract law. So artinya, in any law, there's always sometimes exceptional to the general law. So in this case, what now we can give to your daughter or to your mother in the case of love and affection, or to your husband or to wife without consideration, still a valid consideration. Cannot say now I give to my wife this house for free because I love her. Tomorrow I divorce, I claim back. Tak boleh. Because when you give tadi, you transfer everything because of love and affection, can be used as a consideration that is the exceptional to the general contract law. Okay, what the last one? Doctrine of Promising Estoppel. Okay, promissory estoppel is a legal principle that a promise is enforceable by law, even made without formal consideration. When a promisor has made a promise to a promise, who then relies on that promise in subsequent detriment. Kat Malaysia ni ada satu case law dulu lah, very interesting, but you can read lah. Apa tu pengacara TV tu yang cari-cari makan tu, cari-cari makan mana pun ni. Dia somebody promised to marry her, to marry her. But the guy keep on promise, tak marry her. So she brought this guy to the court. So according to the civil court, just now, you promised already, and if there's some bukti-bukti that the court find that you already go together here and there, he showed that he already went overseas with this guy kind of thing, that means you must be some promise down there, cannot she be going all over the world with you. So the court says, yes, because of your promise, you have to marry her. Contoh lah, kan? It can be many things. But that is the civil court punya decision. Very interesting case, just to share with you. But this man, very smart. He said, we are Muslim. He go overseas with this girl. He's not talking about Muslim lah. But when now the court case law, he went back to the Sharia court. He said, this lady is still married at that time. So even I promise her, how can it be a valid promise? Because you are still somebody's wife. So he went to the Sharia court, to this lady lost. This separate matter lah. But if you're talking both are non-Malays, that mean in the court tadi boleh enforce. Yang cari-cari makan ni raja apa nama? Interesting. So but I'm giving you a little bit more extra information. The civil court sometimes you can win, but the Sharia court you cannot win. Anwar Ibrahim case sodomy in the civil court is completed. But if he now bring under the Sharia court, he may not completed because the bukti for the Sharia court and the civil court is two different things. But the problem in Malaysia, Sharia court only look into the cases of family law. Macam Anwar Ibrahim ni is criminal law. Sodomization still is not in Malaysia. You cannot use it the Sharia court to for the case. But But he tried. After he lost in the civil court, he tried. But then the country court says, no, you cannot try in the Sharia court because Sharia court only trial on case of family law. So these are the things maybe you as a student now growing up must little bit know. If not, how come? So I'm giving you simple thing first. Slowly you can understand the law and then make life easier for you. Quick test, executory future consideration. Ini semua yang dah cakap tadi. This one quick test, you bagilah budak tu quick test, so that whether we test whether you understand or not. Okay, that will be the test for the next class. Then you bagi, give me the test and give me to see me. Then I can assess you punya kepahaman tentang subjek yang I lecture hari ni. Yeah. So I hope my voice is a bit loud today. But if still not loud, you just tell Miss Bakis. So the next class I lecture, I really have to shout to you all lah. It's okay. I takut cakap kuat-kuat kan tak boleh dengar pula. Sometimes they break the voice inside the video tu. So that's why I'm trying to adjust. So as this is our second recording, we will improve lah. We need your feedback, not to worry, so that we can give you the best lecture that you can see as many times. But as I'm free, I will join your class to explain a little bit more or to have discussion with you all lah. So on the summary, I already touched the whole thing. Okay, so thank you very much for you all, and hopefully you will understand what I've said today. And if you don't understand, don't worry, just ask, email me or whatever. And we have our WhatsApp group now. You can post in the WhatsApp then and ask the question. It will be faster or in the online. So we will do it because I will check my online. Except that if I go overseas, sometimes I lambat sikit. Like last few days I was in Jakarta, so difficult to get internet there because I'm moving. So maybe my response not so fast. But if you send WhatsApp, easier for me to explain in very fast. So once again, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.